The third part of our conversation, we are addressing ourselves, as you can observe. So, we will have one last thing as an explanatory note, quite simple, quite clear, that the violations that you do in a system by this pattern as Fibonacci and fractals, you observe that you can use your system properly. Can be your computer, can be your mobile, can be your internal control, judicial system, or security system. And you have failures. We offered models to you do not have this kind of failures anymore. We observe that the factoring as criminal research will allow to trace, track, and have signed the circuits as bank accounts, budget decision, and contracts with signatures in general goes like this. Was offered to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. We will observe that this model here as financial control, observing the flow and the economic for control, the type of flow will kind of help the follow-up and the forecast as evaluation by registry, by budget, by registry considering the variance of scams impacting all areas, even medical statements, judicial decisions, the creation of law. All variables promiscuous in interaction by promiscuity, putting all under the international martial trial, treason, the state power all equally, affecting the balance of the system, the stability of the global environment. We observe that the database Sigma as comparative model already presented in the second presentation, going by the interaction as macro and micro, setting the conjuncture with sigma in global scale by density of arguments failure, and you have the complexity as failure, which goes as a scam, systemic presented as pandemic crime, equally traceable from micro or macro or even conjuncture, as observed by guarantees in Brazil of everyone, everybody, anyone, at the Article 144 and 5, guarantee number 33, request all information you needed, having the legal reason as security and stability, having the circuit one more time as bank account, budget decision, contracts, and signature or institution and checks. The approach micro and macro, considering the frequency of fails, could be presented at the buffering to close the circle as pandemic crime, and having that interval as the moment to broke into this activity and have the domain of things to put properly again. We will consider the cross-cut between conjuncture alpha and beta, can be east or western, and having the A and B considering two different countries, and having the segments, and having the association as interval. We will observe that in all cases we have the risk behavior as a variable with density presented as failure on micro, failure on macro, failure as conjuncture, noticed by the lower capacity to present legal arguments, having the accountability or the transparency required. You need secrecy of public information and other things. I'm considering the judicial secrecy because sometimes it's part of the success that we are achieving now. This model indeed is this model. These two models indeed are this model. Considering the complexity of things, indeed this model is this model. The corrosive argument that put things huge is equally here. The interaction goes like this. The increasement in the elasticity of the extended field of criminal activity always pass through this area. That sets the moment before, considering the moment after, based on the criminal protection at this time here, which is the present time. It's named obstruction of justice. Have a great week. Conviction of all and penalties by law in areas with law. On neutral areas suggested the best and the better guarantee as police, but by reciprocity things goes at that area with no records and registers.